Hello? Mic check. Hello there. Can you hear me? Okay. Mic check working. We can hear you. Hello. Yes, hello, hello. We should probably switch over to screens, shouldn't we? Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. How are we doing? How's everyone doing? Hope you all had a great weekend. We've got a lot of things to talk about, don't we? Just a few. Hello from Brazil. Hello! Wow, that's awesome. Good, pretty good. That's good. Good to hear. Yes, we do. Where do we even start? I see some questions in here. I see some people chatting away and asking. We will get to those questions here momentarily. If you guys do ask a question in the chat and I don't see it or don't get to it, just feel free to ask it again and I will do my best. But what are we doing today? So today is the first of, well, hopefully many streams where the team at Studio Siren is utilizing this platform to showcase and share development updates with Ark Aquatica, patch notes, bug fixes, things like that, things that the team has worked on and fixed, and as well as things that we currently have on the list that we are in the process of fixing. So I've got my list of patch notes here and fixes to go through with everybody, as well as a little bit of gameplay. Figured, why not hang out and play the game a bit for those who maybe haven't experienced it yet. And just also answer questions for you guys in the best way and the best of my abilities for everyone. So, sound like a plan? Fabi, right now we don't have any news regarding Xbox or Windows 10 for that. When are you going to release the dev kit? I don't currently have a ETA on that dev kit, but as soon as I get one or we get one, then we'll be pushing that out for you guys as soon as possible. All right, let's see here. Let's go through some of the current patch notes that we have fixed that either have been pushed out or are in the process of getting pushed out. As well as also be sure to keep an eye out on the Steam page. We do have another update coming regarding the next patch and the details going into that. A lot of really big ones for this update as well. Things that we've been tackling since launch day and we have identified. So yeah, all good stuff coming that way. One of the things that we did do in regards to optimization is lighting. Lighting, we did notice that there were some issues with the optimization in certain biomes. So we went through and we made sure to clear out any of the poor optimization for any of our dynamic lights or anything like that we found through the map. As well as FPS optimization, that remains one of the bigger priorities right now. We're currently working on getting the map optimized to help improve frames and frame rate for players. You'll actually see that here in a bit. I'm currently on our test branch where we have been testing fixes, things like that, wherever we find bugs. And then once we fix them, test them here before pushing anything out. So you'll get to see some of that here in a bit. I feel like I need to get a slow mode on here. Who tested this game pre-release? So we did. So with our team being as small as it is, again, we had to make do with what we were provided and what we had to work with. And one of those things was also QA and playtesting. So while, for example, while I was in level design, primarily focusing on level design, I was also jumping back and forth to QA as well as was the rest of the team. Basically, it was an all hands on deck event for QA. Will the water get less clear? I don't have an answer for that one, but I can talk about a little bit behind the reason why the water looks the way it does. And one of those reasons does have to go into optimization and resource usage with Unreal Engine 4. So really, the water went through a multitude of iterations before we settled on one final setting for it. We don't have any information regarding any additions outside of Aquatica, or what's next really in the pipeline for us as a studio. So we're currently working with and collaborating, communicating with a very large mod community, as well as we're currently trying to find a stable fix to get mods back into play and get mods back and going on Aquatica in the main build of the game. So we're still currently working on that. Fox, to answer your question regarding the state of the DLC and pushing it, again, with us being such a small team, we worked with what we had. We were given a set of resources, and we did our best with what was available for us. And we worked together to bring something that was still viable in the Ark scene with that. Obviously, of course, regardless of what game you work on, every game that's released is going to have issues, going to have bugs. There's going to be some game-breaking issues as well. What's important about that, though, is that our team, since day one of launch, has been on damage control regarding all these bug issues. Since day one, we've made so many updates and fixes to known bugs, popular known bugs that were released and brought up to our attention thanks to you guys in our Aquatica Discord. And so we're still actively working to fix bugs as they're coming in the reports. Obviously, with some of these bugs, we're not going to have a set ETA on when they're going to be fixed, but just know that the team is actively working to fix these issues. So the intent behind the pre-Aquatica version is to remain a stable source for players to play ASE with mods without the issues that Aquatica has with mod support until we are able to fix Aquatica and mend the issues causing mods to break and crash with the DLC. Don't fix the flying raft. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people. I didn't like the flying raft. I actually went in when I first saw that myself, and I wanted to replicate that bug, and it didn't really take long. Put a couple large storage bins, got a forge, I got my bed, I'm ready to go, I'm sailing, having a great time, and then just pancake top of the map. So. I sure don't like the rafts being squishing me in thin air, but... Any timeline on Linux executable dedicated servers? So Linux has been identified, the issues with that, and we are currently working towards a fix for that. I don't have an ETA on that timeline for you. The only fix that I am aware of as far as the dedicated servers go. It comes with the previous DLCs, making sure that the maps from the previous DLCs have been fully playable or are fully playable in the main build of the game. Which, speaking of servers, I've been watching the Discord as well as Twitter. I have seen quite a few of crash reports regarding servers. Please understand that we are currently looking at server stability fixes. We have already pushed out some in previous updates, but we are still working to actively fix issues with those servers. So again, not a lot of these are going to have a set ETA. On my end, but as soon as there is an ETA or a time frame for everyone, if you are in the Aquatica Discord, keep an eye out because I'll most likely be posting something regarding a time frame for everyone and answering as many questions as possible. Some other smaller fixes that we've also done too, such as the mantis shrimp not being able to feed them. We've managed to fix that, so now you should be able to tame and feed the mantis shrimp, as well as a lot of the texture issues with the taji fugu. We inflated those to make them not look, as wild or as out of date. We don't have any information regarding Aquatica coming to other platforms such as Epic or PlayStation or any console of that. We don't have any info on that. If any additional details or info do arise regarding other consoles or platforms, then we'll be sure to post that out on the Discord, as well as the Steam page for the updates. I don't know why I'm crossing my arms like this. I feel like I'm on a bouncer right now or something. Just like, yeah, tough guy mode. There was also some issues we did notice too that were coming up regarding the Tridacna and it not being tameable. That has since been fixed, and you should be able to tame the Tridacna in PvE now. Remember, PvE, not PvP. I know. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands. I like movement. I move around a lot. I think that just comes from having, crazy ADHD. I can't stand still. Why were current and or firmware modders, mappers, consulted, or invited to consult on Aquatica? I do not have the information for that. Or I guess I don't really have an answer for that one. I can ask, though. I can ask, and if I do get an answer back, then I will happily share that with you. Secura, so at the moment, we're not looking at adding additional features to Aquatica, given its current state. We're currently focused on fixing game-breaking bugs, issues with the mods, and just overall getting things optimized at a playable level for everyone to come back to the base build of the game and play Aquatica as it should with their respected mods and how they want to play it. Only until then will we consider looking at additional features. How many people worked or are working on Aquatica? So there is a core team of 10 people that were working on Aquatica. One thing I noticed, why our boss dossier is not listed under Kato and not Guardians in the notes tab. That is a great question. If you're in the Discord, Nano, would you mind pinging me with that question again so I can come back to it? And I will ask about that. Because I feel like the boss dossiers, they probably should be under Guardians notes, shouldn't they? One of the reasons might be because since we are using Cato's Explorer Note chest or Explorer chest for that to document the dossiers rather than having a separate entity of a chest for them, that could be a reason why. It's most likely referring back to that one instead of it being its own separate thing for the UI. That's just my assumption, though. I'll have to look into it. What's the next DLC? So right now, we don't have any information regarding another DLC or next steps going forward for Studio Sirens. Right now, we're solely focused on optimizing, fixing, and mending Ark Aquatica so we can get it into a much more functional state for the player base. Speaking of functionality, we've also fixed a couple crash issues, one of which being with dinosaur damage. There were a lot of reports from players' games crashing whenever dealing damage to a dino, so that has since been fixed and will be pushed up. We've also fixed crashes related to item skins. And as well as any additional optimization features such as framework or FPS, we're still currently doing ongoing testing. So not half of it is unaccessible. I think what you're talking about, what you're saying is the backdrop beyond the boundaries of the map. And those issues have been addressed regarding FPS and performance. And we should expect to see better optimization and a higher FPS result because of the fixes that are coming into play. A big factor of it has to do with the world streaming, which is something we identified pretty early on when trying to figure out the issues behind the optimization. So since then, we have been having somebody to work on that issue. Do you know why tame mud puppies disappear after logging off? No, I do not, but I can find out for you. Kel, what's going on, bud? Welcome, welcome. I don't have any sort of timeline or information regarding a fix for Epic users. If you're in the Discord, please ping me with that question, and then I will relay that to my team and try to get an answer for you. That is another thing for everybody else here. If I don't have an answer to your question at the moment in the stream, if you're in the Aquatica Discord, please ping me with your question, because I'm actively sending these questions, especially ones that become very common amongst players. I'm sending them directly to the rest of the team so we can get answers from people such as our engineering department and leads and all of those sources. It's been a much more easier way for me to bounce questions, especially if I don't know the answer off the top of my head. I can bounce them back to the rest of the team. They can provide that answer for you. So, what is the timeline for you to find out the timeline for Epic players? Great question. Again, right now, I apologize if there isn't any set ETA on a lot of these things. It's really, as soon as we get the information, we're pushing it out, such as myself. So as soon as I'm hearing something new or something that's updated, I'm pushing it to the Discord, I'm pushing it to Twitter, trying to get that information up to date and to you guys as quickly as possible. Did I see a question in here? Let's see. Fox, great question. Obviously, when it comes to this field and this industry, when you're working on a consumer-based product, such as a video game especially, there is going to be some sort of negative reception in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, the community here, especially the art community, is very passionate about the game. You are all very passionate about your product, your mods, and the servers in the game that you have spent hours upon hours working in and playing. So it's one of those things where I would consider the critiques and the negative response, I would consider that driving force, if anything, driving force to do better, to improve, to listen, and to continue to update and continue to fix the game to bring something to the table for you to enjoy, to have a great experience in, right? Obviously, no developer wants to see negative feedback on their project that they've worked on and put towards, but at the end of the day, it comes with it. It's a part of it, and it's something where, rather than be silent, we choose to go forward with being open with communication, speaking to you guys, listening, and, like I said, working on fixing the game and bringing the DLC to a playable state that's functional, optimized, and ready to go. When is the next patch going out? So currently I don't have a set ETA on that. Expect to see a patch update note on the Steam page later this evening from our admins, and that will go further into detail about what's coming next in the next patch, and that should have a better ETA for you, a better timeline. Stoppy, so regarding tech engrams like tech turrets and things like that, the ones that you don't see in the game, we're currently not prioritizing additional features and adding those in. While that would be easy for us to do, right now our main goal is to fix the current issues and the ones that are game breaking for a large group of the player base. Up until then, once we have fixed those and the DLC is in a playable state, then we will consider looking into adding additional features. One big thing I can talk about too, as far as improvements and patches go, is the Volcanithus boss fight. We know that there were some issues when engaging with the encounter as a whole, and so we've made several improvements to that boss fight as well. Yes, this VOD will be on YouTube. The Q&A VOD from the launch day is also going to be published up there as well. It's actually in the process of uploading. All of these VODs will be public on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. You can find that in a link in my About Me section here on Twitch for everybody to go back, review, and if maybe they forgot an answer to one of the questions that was brought up here, they can go back, review the VOD, and see it there. That question has been brought up quite a bit, Street Cloud, regarding the dinosaurs magically disappearing on server restarts or reloading single player. Can you ping me in the Discord with that? I'm going to push that up to my team, and I'm going to see if that question has been answered and if we have something in the works for that. And again, for everybody who's just now joining, please do the same. If you have a question that I don't get to, please ping me in the Aquatica Discord. All of your questions, especially common questions, will be getting pushed up. Stinger disappears once you place it on official servers. So we have identified this issue with the Stinger as well as the Skiff, and we have a fix in place for that. You should see that in the upcoming patch once we update. Again, this update that will be rolling out is a much larger update dealing with a lot of crucial fixes, one of which being FPS optimization and world streaming. So after this update, you should expect to see a much more higher frame rate output as well as higher optimization with the map. Not everyone uses Discord. Well, then looks like I'm going back through the VOD and finding questions. So I'm not an admin on there. I have a dev role in the Discord. If there's any admins in here, though, I can reach out to them as a whole, see if we can do something about some of the timeout rules with that. Interesting. Can't say poof without a 10-minute timeout. So the whole purpose of reaching out to mods and the mod community for Ark is to collaborate with them in finding a solution and a workaround to ensure that when we push these updates for fixing the mod issues with the mods breaking in Aquatica, that A, it's done right, it's done with the assistance and like the collaboration efforts from those who have created mods for the years since Ark has been out with mod capabilities, and make a product that does not break when the update launches for you. We want to make sure that this update, especially with mod fixes, is done right, and it's done right the first time. Right, no, of course. The tech engrams do need to be unlocked with bosses. Just right now, some tech engrams are not in the DLC as a whole. Like I said, it is an easy fix. It is something we can easily apply. We're just not focused on that right now. Our main priority is fixing game-breaking bugs, optimizing the DLC and the map for everybody, fixing the frame rate issue, as well as other issues like a raft spontaneously squishing the player and all their resources midair. So, yeah. When we get an ETA or a timeline of when that dev kit goes live or will be coming out, we will be pushing that out to you as soon as possible. Anything regarding additional maps outside of Aquatica, those can be questions more for Wildcard. That is out of our reach. So anything regarding the Fjordan map that has nothing to do with Studio Sirens. Again, we have identified the issue with the Stinger, just primarily it not being able to, when you spawn it in, it disappears. We have identified that problem, and we're working on a fix for it. So expect to see updates on that in the coming future. Anything related to Ark 2 or ASA, again, that's out of Studio Sirens field. We have no knowledge on that or know about regarding Ark 2, so that would be a question to ask for Studio Wildcard. It's on their side of the fence. My official server has been down 80% of the time last 2 days. So we are aware of a lot of the server outages and server issues. We have made some fixes regarding the stability of said servers, but we're still continuing to work on making sure that we can improve on those stability fixes for everybody. And also to make sure that we prevent as many of these server crashes as possible. There has been results in the sense of just reaching out and communicating with modders and reaching out, getting into active mod discords to reach out to them and just collaborate, have open discussions between team members of Studio Sirens and mod developers themselves. So it's just a better way for us to try to find an active solution for this fix. That's actually a great suggestion. I will definitely bring that up to the table as well for future IPs. As far as making content for Ark, Aquatica was my first development experience, but in the past, I was a year one player for Ark Survival Evolved on the Xbox. I did not get too heavily into it though with it, and it was, for me, it was kind of one of those games I just played on and off while playing other games and doing other things. We are aware of the issue with the tame creatures despawning when you relog. That has been noted. I don't have an ETA on a fix for that, though. As far as being able to play other maps on ASC through the base game, we have found a fix for that as well, and we should be expecting to see that patch roll out here very soon. Again, be keeping an eye out on the Steam page. The admins there will have an update for you with more additional information and hopefully a roadmap of dates regarding the patch and what's to come with it. So just keep an eye out there. And if it does post, I will also be posting it on Twitter like I have been for the last week or so. Is it known that barnacles can't be put on the augment slot in your tames? I'm not sure if that's been known yet, but I will ask about that. Will there be a patch for the engine rendering assets from across the map causing massive FPS drops? Yes, so one of the larger updates that will be coming here soon does involve the optimization and FPS issues, as well as experiencing those massive FPS drops, such as like in the middle of the map when you go down in the depths, or looking out beyond the boundary points there. We have identified those, and a fix is in place, so just expect to see results and improvements with FPS and optimization here soon. Why or how did it manage to break other maps? We believe one of the issues had to do with some of the core files when in development. But as far as that's a presumption, excuse me. So what you might be talking about there, Cloud, is the rendering issue with the texture streaming. So the texture streaming reaches its max when you have a large amount of assets on the map. The reason why a lot of these do, like material-wise, like the pickaxe or the hatchet, for example, the reason why they look poorly rendered is because the texture streaming is maxed out due to outside sources and meshes across the boundaries causing frame issues and the optimization issues. But like I said, we have found a fix for that, and you should expect to see those issues regarding FPS see improvement in that in the coming patch. This is going, yep, I'm experiencing it myself, which we can actually take a look at that. My little Hydrodome base. I got a couple bases I'm working on right now in my own little single player. So currently where I'm at right now, we're actually playing on the Aquatica test branch. This is something that our team created, again, to identify bugs, game-breaking bugs, or reports that you guys bring into us, and we're able to go into this branch, test those, find a fix for them first, if replicated correctly, fix them, and then test the fix before we push it out to any patch. So going forward, this is going to be kind of the pattern or the process that we're going to put into it. We did notice the issue with the silica pearl shells not being able to get picked up on the beach. I am unsure if we have anybody working on it at this moment in time, but that has been an issue that has been brought up. Any news about transfers on unofficial servers? I don't have any information regarding transfers or unofficial servers. That does seem to be a common question coming up, though, in the chat as I'm reading this. So I'm going to mark that down. Any common questions that come up or anything like that, I'm just keeping a mental note of or writing it down so I can come back to my team later. How long are you guys going to be running the underwater base contest? We have an underwater base contest coming up? I wish I'd known about that. That sounds awesome. I want to do an underwater base contest. Would I be able to get in if I already have an underwater base going? Maybe? That's a work in progress, though. I have nothing inside there. So... Are you going to do videos on Aquatica features and dinos? Yes. So one of the things I would love to do for players who maybe are just getting started in the DLC or haven't really explored too much is do a docuseries regarding the biomes of Aquatica. A brief description of the area, what resources you can find, what common dinos spawn in those biomes, etc. More ways how to farm organic polymer. More ways to farm organic polymer. Okay. PvP claims tameable. I don't believe PvP claims are tameable. Let me put that down, though. Anything regarding dinos, tames, things like that are going to be questions I'm going to push up to our dino crew and engineering, since they're the ones who primarily work on those. If you guys have any questions regarding the map, the level design, or any of the biomes and things like that, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer those for you, since my main role with this was the level design and working on the world. Oh, well, look at that. Community events. What do you know? So we have identified quite a few mesh holes, and we have fixed quite a lot already. We still have mesh hole cords coming in with that. So as these patches and updates roll out, expect to see a lot of those mesh holes be fixed. Especially the ones with the lava. We did identify the issue with that, so we're unsure how. But the kill volumes and damage volumes that we had for the lava biome themselves decided to just up and take a vacation. So that's why you're able to go into it like a hot spring and get a nice lava bath in at the moment. And then also go, you know, explore around in the lava. Any comment on when looking across the map in the water, FPS drops? Yes, so we have identified that issue, and as I've stated here recently in the chat, you can expect to see updates coming out regarding the FPS drop issue and the optimization. A big issue with that had to do with the world streaming and the level streaming. So we have been working on a fix for that. So in our next big update, expect to see some improvements with FPS in that issue. Foundations and doors. In regards to like rendering, Jade, is that what you're talking about? There's a large chunk of ocean near the volcano that raises about 10 feet above the ocean, and it's still swimmable. Okay. Could you... Fender, could you drop some chords or a little video or something? I know I'm in your Discord hanging out. Tag me in that, my guy. Yeah, Kel here has also been on mesh hole duty as well, so he's been doing pretty good at that. Will blue gems be added in the future? So at this moment, we don't have any plans for adding additional features or resources. That's just because right now we are fully occupied in prioritizing the bug fixes and the issues there, and the mod crash issues and things like that. So once we have all of that done and we've done our damage control and we've gotten Aquatica back to a playable state that's functional for you and the community, then that's when we'll start looking into possibly the discussion of additional features and resources. Blurry. So that has to do with the texture streaming, Jade. When the texture streaming pool reaches a maximum, then certain objects will start to render in, have a very low resolution, and look kind of funky. We have identified that problem. It has to do with the world streaming and the level streaming and the FPS issues. And so that's going to be a part of the upcoming fixes in the next few updates. You try to climb on land, you end up floating in the air, having to try to swim. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Again, transfers have been an issue that has been addressed. None of us are saying that's not a priority. We do have that up on the list as well. It's a very long list of bug fixes and priorities, of course. So how long will it take to get mods? So we don't have an ETA on that. There's no hard date that we've discussed or seen. All I can say is that right now we've been actively working on a solution for this since launch, since the issue arose with the mod situation, and we are currently, as soon as we have an ETA regarding any bug fix for that matter, especially mods, then the community will be one of the first to know. Not only will it be in the Discord announcements and Steam page, but it will also be posted on Twitter, and I'll be sure to share that information out, as well as any additional info. Not about the game directly, how is it? Honestly, it's been an amazing experience. Being able to work on Ark and create something for Ark. The team is very passionate about this project. We've all worked very well together. And we're hoping now, after we get things fixed, and to put this in a position and a state for players to enjoy themselves without having to, you know, play as if you're on a Windows 98 computer with 8 gigs of RAM. But no, overall, I would say that it has been a great experience. It's been a blast being able to do the level design and work on the map. There's one thing I'm very firm about is the player and developer engagement. That's always something that I've grown with since I knew I wanted to get into the industry, and it's something that I've carried with me throughout my time, not only getting into college for pursuing this field, but also just any personal projects or collaborative work that I've done in the past. I believe that player and developer engagement and communication should be very high. It should be very open while still maintaining a level of professionalism and, obviously not spoiling anything about the game or upcoming releases, right? Because there's that still that level of, secrecy, if you want to say, right? That suspense. But in regards to like bug fixes, updates, things like that, doing things like this, yeah, I believe there should be more of it. And I'm hoping that as we go forward, I would love for these streams to be more regular for you guys and to continue pushing out these updates. Do I have any plans to mod for ASA? I mean, I have the dev kit. And thankfully, my buddy Kel'Thuzad that's in here has been showing me through the ropes a little bit with his project. And yeah, I think it'd be awesome to make a map. I love working in other kits. I've done some other work like with Halo Infinite Forge, teaching myself the Hammer editor right now. That's pretty fun. And yeah, I just, making maps is insanely fun for me. It's addicting. And not only is it a career choice, but it's also a hobby. Sorry, I'm going to scroll up here. I don't have an answer to that one, Sage, but I can ask our engineer team and our Dino Crew department and see if they have additional info on that. I'm going to write that down. If Aquatica fixed and works fine. So right now we don't have any information on regarding next steps or what's next for Studio Sirens in regards to IPs. Right now, our only information and knowledge we have is to work on Aquatica and to fix bugs for Aquatica, and it will remain Aquatica until told otherwise, which right now we don't have any additional info on that. That also goes along with any information regarding Aquatica to ASA. We don't have any information, nor have we spoken about that. Can you guys release all creatures dossiers with small intro videos? Like intro videos such as like YouTube shorts? Things like that. Hey, Party Panda, thank you for the resub. Do you plan to add the rest of Techgrams to the bosses anytime soon? So right now we don't have a plan for adding the rest of the Techgrams at the moment, just simply because we're currently working on the fixes and prioritizing major issues with the game, such as optimization and frame rate, mods, other issues like that. Once those are all addressed and taken care of, then we will look into adding additional Techgrams and features like that. No idea, Gothic. No idea. That is quite the mystery. Small 1-minute video. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. That would be fun. 1-minute video of the dossier. Okay. I do have a question for you guys regarding these streams. So if these streams were to be more regular, and we were to do these more often, I guess, what else would you like to see in these streams? I'll ask this question in the Discord as well, and I'll post a poll on Twitter. Is anything regarding gameplay, things like that? Add a moderator. We do have mods in the server. I'm not sure if any are active right now. Would Excel, the only information that we have is that official servers will be active until the end of 2025. We don't have any other additional details than that. Play the DLC in game. So yeah, like I've said at the beginning, again, we are currently we hear the community, right? We have been listening. I've been watching. We've all been watching very closely regarding feedback, criticism, constructive feedback, everything. This has not been something that we have just brushed off of our shoulders and plan to throw a couple fixes here and there. This is something that we have been taking very seriously since day one of launch. We've seen the bugs, we've seen the issues, and with our team and what we have available to us, we are doing everything in our power to bring fixes and patches to you as quickly as possible. So, feature updates, sneak peeks, actual gameplay. Okay. What type of actual gameplay would you want to see? Would you like to see like a fresh start gameplay? Do you want to see any sort of biome exploration, stuff like that? If you want to make streams maybe 2, we can give us like feature spotlight and update. Okay, feature spotlight and update. I like that. Vids for taming the new dinos and the fish. Okay, I like that. Yeah, agree, so absolutely. So I can go back through and talk about them. So upcoming fixes that we have going on right now, one of them is the Takifugu textures. Whenever they're inflated, the texture streaming on that seems to have issues. We have found a fix for that, and we'll be coming out with that patch soon. We've also fixed the ability where players can't feed or tame the mantis shrimp a second time while they're taming. We've resolved that issue. We've also fixed the issue with the Tridacna not being tameable in PvE. So that issue has also been resolved. Some bigger updates that we will have coming out here as far as server stability fixes, as well as addressing crashes, server crashes and those issues. Those are going to be most likely a reoccurring feature fix as they come out with future patches, just because we are still doing ongoing testing on several servers, our own testing branch as well, and things like that. So expect to see that going forward in additional patches. Regarding crashes as well as stability issues, that is also something that is going to be an ongoing and reoccurring theme when it comes to the patches, is addressing the FPS issues. We have found what we believe is one of the core issues causing the poor optimization and the frame drops for players, and that has been addressed, and we should be pushing that out. So expect this next update to be pretty big in regards to what will be fixed and what's coming. An additional optimization feature we did include as well is the lighting optimization. We noticed that some of the lights in some of the areas were causing some frame issues for players, as well as our own playtest experiences. So we have identified that and fixed that as well. Little known tips and tricks for new players and seasoned players would be great. Okay. What happens after 5 months? We've still got fixes. We will continue to work on and fix and optimize and polish Aquatica for this, the foreseeable future. up until we are told we're going to another IP, essentially, right? That is our goal. Our main focus and fix right now is Aquatica. So we're not leaving Aquatica and moving on to anything else anytime soon. Would be cool to see a developer's insight to biomes, creatures, and thought process. Okay, cool. It's kind of like a behind the scenes, almost like a behind the story of how it was made, why it was made the way it was, things like that. So we did, as a team, we were also actively doing QA together, having playtest sessions almost every Friday and as many times as possible, especially as we approached launch day. And so with that, there were certain bugs that appear now in launch that we didn't see or weren't happening prior to launch, prior to the launch build. So with that, with launching a game, there's going to come a plethora of new issues that will occur. Did we expect there to be this many? Absolutely not. It was not intentional from our team to have this many issues in the DLC. Obviously, that should never be any developer's intention when publishing a game. And so the most important thing about this, though, regarding the situation and the current state of Aquatica, is that the team that built it is the same team that's going to be fixing it and continue to fix it and work on it. Features, dinos, new things in the DLC, show how to tame new dinos. Okay, cool. I want to see you play the game as a series. Okay, I could probably do that. Beginner's guides, okay. Seeing a lot of beginner's guides, seeing a lot of series. Okay. Can we expect a coding fix between Fjordur and Aquatica? So we should have a stability fix coming out for the main other DLCs. They should be playable with the main game in the main build with Aquatica. Expect to see additional fixes and additional updates regarding issues between other maps and stability issues in the foreseeable future for updates. Yeah, we're aware it's not just Fjordur. Resource and notes map, okay. Hoping for a patch to hit this week. I am hoping so. Expect to see a patch update announcement come out on the Steam page from our administrators sometime here very soon. That should give some more insight and information regarding when this patch will drop. Yeah, so we have identified that issue with the frames dropping when looking in certain directions of the map. That has been addressed, and we believe we found the core issue for that. So in this upcoming update and patch, expect major changes to optimization and better improvements to FPS. Wolf, I have seen your question regarding the Epic Games players content. I have it down here on my notes, and so I will bring that up and address it with the team. And if they get an answer back to me, I will be sure to ping it in the Discord and on Twitter as well with any updates. Can we get a stream with your team? We'd have to all have a big conversation about that. That'd be fun though, like a whole team dev stream. That'd be cool. So it is a story arc in the sense of like it's being its own story that's not canon to the rest of the Ark series. So while there still is a story there, it is non-canon. but still considered a story arc. Anything and everything related to caves going to be buildable? Yes. So there are caves, plenty of caves actually. There's already a ton of showcase videos that I've been watching from players finding crazy cave locations and rat hole locations for it. And so, yeah. Underwater caves, there will be caves that are buildable. Some caves, like larger ones or like artifact caves, will not be buildable, obviously because it's an artifact cave. Will official servers be back up for all maps? Nope, just Aquatica. So regarding mesh holes and rat holes, we are focused on identifying and fixing the major game-breaking ones, such as rat holes that may lead to an open mesh pocket, allowing players to escape the map, or mesh holes such as like the lava biome that will quite literally just let you dive down into the abyss of the game. So we are focused on fixing those ones. Any rat holes, things like that, that are in the game that don't lead to a break in the map or lead to players being able to leave outside of the boundaries, those ones we're not concerned with. Right now, the information we have is that Aquatica will be only available on Steam. I would love to do more conversations and more engagement with the community and community members and content creators to talk about Aquatica and its features. That would be obviously something to pass along with the team to just get verification on to see if we can do that. Me personally, though, that would be something I would love to do. Like this right now, this is something that I enjoy thoroughly. I enjoy being able to speak with the community members and engage with everybody here and provide updates on what's coming in future patch notes and what the team is aware of. Devil, you have been made aware of that with the situation of the volcano. I do have that written down. I'm going to ask my team about that, see if that was fixed. So the reason for Aquatica's release as an update was that not only was it just a map, but it was also going to include some new features as well, things that to help celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Ark Survival Evolved. You can't see the models of the chibis when you equip them. If you're in the Discord, can you submit a bug report of that, please? As well as anybody else here, if you guys have reported an issue or told me about an issue here in the chat, if you're in the Aquatica Discord, be sure to put a bug report in. Those bug reports will go directly to our team. And as well as if you're not in the Discord, be sure to join it. Please do. I'm in there. I'm answering questions all the time. So if I haven't gotten to your question here, you can ask me in that Discord. And I get to it as soon as I can with an answer as best I can. Can you fix the Monodon's beam not counting as a kill? Is it not counting as a kill? community. We got about a couple more minutes here. This stream was solely intended to, just be just about an hour long or so with it. We went a little over that time just to answer questions. Also considering since this is the first of, again, hopefully continuous streams. Did you guys reach out to mod? Yes. Matter of fact, today I reached out to a few mod devs themselves, and I'm in contact with a very large community of mod developers. So there's quite a few of us on the team that are in contact with them, and we're talking with them. Rose, any fixes that we are doing, we're doing in our own test branch to make sure that they do work and the fixes are actually functional before pushing them to the main build of it. And so the intent of this is to get everything functional and fully operational in the main build for Aquatica, including mod support, that way to allow us to get out of that pre-Aquatica. So it'd be as if, there weren't any issues with the mods to begin with. So we're still gonna work with that. Rose, it will be for as long as we need it to get things fixed. That will be, that is the best answer I can give for that. Show us your favorite part of the map before you go. Oh, okay. I can do that. It's a little dark, though. It is a little dark. Yeah, so right now what you're seeing with the rendering issue there, how it just kind of took its time to pop in, is the texture streaming overpool. It's maxed out. So again, we are working on and getting a fix for that. So hopefully we don't see that pop in issue. Oh man. I have a few favorite parts of the map, to be honest with you. I'm a little biased, honestly, and I'm gonna have to say the shallows, this region here. So the shallows is a very large, great starting biome for players, especially for those who maybe aren't so comfortable with diving into the water. I'll give you a great example of some key locations to look at if you want to, dip your toes and take your time going into it. Also, I'm flying, so if you see things popping in and out, that's why. So here we're near the Anniversary Islands. Just walk here. Ooh. Based. Oh, the volcano's cool, don't get me wrong, but let's see. GG, arked. So there was a reason for the water issue when you go under there. We did a numerous amount of iterations to the water and the water post-processing itself. What it came down to really was rendering regarding the water. Obviously, when you're working on a decade-old engine, Unreal Engine 4, you're working with what you have, and you don't want something that's as resource-heavy in the game, such as a water volume. Yeah, oh yeah, that rendering's bad. Golly, that's smooth. Look at that. That's like, I'm gonna bust out my PS2. All right. So one of the areas that I was showing off there, it's near the Anniversary Islands. You'll notice these, I'll just get over there quicker. These large pylon-like structures coming out of the map. So this is actually a great descent point for players when you want to go into the shallows itself. Ow! Rude. So many clams. No. No. I'm trying to show people stuff. Leave me alone. Okay. Ah! What the? Clams don't do that in single player? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You clearly haven't gotten close to a clam yet. So issues with the skiff and the lag, that is something we're currently working on as well. Nah, I'm not going to make him leave me alone. Where's the fun in that? You got to have the chase. But no, so this spot right here is a great starting point for new players if you want to find a better way, a safer route into the water, right? Rather than just like diving off of the map. It's a great spot for building bases on the surface islands. There's plenty of resources around. I'll just go down even in the water and I'll show you. So many clams. Oh, go away. Get my water, some oxygen real quick. But very shallow, very friendly, a lot of dolphins, monodons, not a lot of threatening aquatic life in this area. So if you're a new player and you want dolphins to come check you out, yeah, hey, what's up, everybody? Howdy, howdy. Hello. Oh, there's a lot of you. Hello. Yes, hi. Hello. Oh, God. Hello, everybody. They're joining the chat. Yeah, I got fans. All right, but anyway. So as you're coming down, you'll start to notice it gets deeper, it's deeper, and then you have a descent point here, which then takes you into the shallows, which, again, the shallows area is great for resources such as metal. There's certain pockets of obsidian in the area. It's where a new resource of manganese is also in as well. And it's also one of those that's even early on, let's say if you get to, I would say about level 5, if you max your stats in oxygen or movement speed, you can easily dive down to the bottom of the shallows and back up without depleting your oxygen entirely. So yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite areas that I worked on. I worked on quite a few sections of the map, but the shallows was probably where I spent majority of my time foliaging. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a feature. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good stuff right there. Yeah, look at that pop in. Wow. Feature. Where are you on the map? How about I do this? You guys have been asking great questions. I'm getting eaten by piranhas. So if you go there, this is where I'm at on the map. I'm gonna die. So, yep, those coordinates that I dropped, that's where I'm at the map. Pop-in remind me of Sega Rally on Saturn. Yeah, pop-in issues also been identified. We're working on a fix for that too. Not everything's gonna pop in, I promise. Like that. So that'd be funny. Just 1 minute you're casually swimming. It's like, oh, it's very vast and open. Next minute, boom, rock right in your face because of popping. Easy fix though. Easy fix. All right, let's go back to our intermission here. I will post those coordinates one more time. Will there be any updates for Epic Games players? We don't have any information regarding console Epic Games at this time in regards to Aquatica for that. Right now, we just know it is going on Steam and on Steam only. So given our limitations in team size, it wasn't realistic for us to create a large set of brand new assets for this DLC. Of course, that is something that we just had to work with. While we still did make some new assets, a list of new assets, it wasn't enough to obviously create such a large map that is Aquatica. So we had to make do with, getting creative with what we had given to us and what was offered in terms of the dev kit, in terms of what assets and files that we had to work with for ASE. So that's where we had a lot of time doing a lot of creative freedom builds, essentially. Just playing around with kit bashing, especially on a level design side for environmental storytelling and things like that. Make artifact caves buildable. Written down. If you're talking about my About Me page, I need to do a lot of updates to this as far as like specs, builds, and stuff like that goes. So, I know they're talking about PvP. I know, I heard. I've got it written down. But anyways, guys, that is about all the time we have for tonight, for today. If you guys did enjoy this, please let me know if you're in the Discord. I'd love to hear feedback. I'm hoping that we can do this more regularly. If we do decide to do more of these streams regularly, please, please, please pay attention to Twitter. Keep an eye out in Discord. I will be posting announcements as well as any upcoming updates, and I will continue to post patches and updates as we push them out, as we bring them up to Steam, as well as any other future streams as well. On outside of the work environment, if you guys do enjoy additional content, I will also be doing a bunch of other level design related videos and streams as well. These VODs you can find on my YouTube channel. You will see this VOD most likely published tonight, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. So in case you missed anything at the beginning, you can go back through and watch it. And furthermore, guys, thank you again so much. Thank you everybody for the questions. Thank you everybody for the feedback, both critical and or constructive, and supportive, and even negative, because we do look at that too. As a part of the development field in the industry, any and all feedback that we receive, it is meant to be heard and is meant to be reviewed. And while this is a slow process, again, our team is working hard to get these fixes out to you guys as fast as possible. Any ETA regarding things like the dev kit, the mod situation, anything like that will be pushed out to you guys as soon as possible as well, once I have that. So thank you guys again so much. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Thank you all for the follows as well. Honestly, this is absolutely insane. We hit over 1,100 followers. You guys are absolutely incredible. I can't thank you guys for that enough. Our team can't thank you guys as well for all of the feedback. So that being said, I'm going to take off here, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. We should go find somebody to raid in ASE. What do you guys think? I don't want to just cut the stream off. Shall we go raid somebody in ASE? Let's go share some love. Let's share the love. What have we got here? Raid. Streaming tomorrow. At the moment, I don't have any plans for streaming tomorrow, but if I do have anything come up for that, as far as another dev stream, you will be notified on Twitter. Who do we got? Is anybody playing Aquatica right now? It's a phenomenal question. Even if they're not playing Aquatica, let's see. It doesn't look like there's not too many people, but let's do... All right, we got some hardcore players here. Alan Frostblade. All right, so we're going to go raid Alan Frostblade. Guys, be sure to go give Alan Frostblade here a follow. Go say what's up. Say hi from Swell's stream. Do a little Swell raid. And we'll see you guys in the next one here. And we're going to go raid in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you guys in the next one.